Quick question. How are you doing?
Good.
I have a quick question. Put up your hand if you've never heard me speak. All right. If I offend you, I'm not sorry, because you probably
Tinkle.
some stuff up. And before you get mad at me, go look in the mirror and ask yourself a series of questions. And if I'm wrong, you're a unicorn. You guys have all seen that thing? The woman thing?
Yeah.
The
Capture her.
unicorn. Yes, it's a unicorn. Yeah, it's cute. All right, I'm going to talk about 5 things. These 5 things that it takes to win, and win in life, win in business, win in whatever you want to formulate it to look at. It's not specific, but it's how you think and how you look at things and how your perspective is that allows you to overcome the obstacles that you need to overcome, because there will be obstacles. There's no life without obstacles. There's nobody born and then dies at 90 and overcame absolutely frickin' nothing. It worked out perfect. 0 people. It's not going to work that way for you. It doesn't work that way for anybody. The first thing is balls. Now, Mark Cuban says no balls, no babies. Now, that is not a male reference. I've met a lot of women who have them and a lot of men who don't. If men gave birth to children, there'd be no people. Women are as tough as men in any way, shape, or form, in every way, shape, and form. But you have to have the guts. You have to be willing to have, like Mike was talking about, be willing to have those uncomfortable conversations. You have to be willing to be straight with people. If you screw up, what most people do, again, we're talking about what it takes to win. Most people try to hide the screw up or hope nobody finds out, and then if they're an honest person, they'll admit it. But there's people who deny to the end. I have a picture of you. It wasn't me. Here's your thumbprint, not my thumb. What do you want me? There's your mom. Not me. There's people who deny like that, and to the point where you start questioning yourself. I have all this evidence. Maybe it wasn't that person. But there's other people. Hey, I wanted to call you and let you know I screwed up, and here's what happened. Now, who do you want to do business with? Who would you want to entrust? Anything that you're working within. That person. So you got to be that person. If you want to work with that person, you got to be that person, because people like that will be attracted to that. Nobody gets a phone call or gets brought into a meeting and says, hey, I want to tell you how I screwed up, and then you just, berate them or something. Who would do that? I know one guy. Most people aren't like that, though, and you won't meet him. So it's really important when you do make a mistake, bring it up fast and get it right, okay? You got to have the guts to face issues head on. People like to skirt around them. There's always going to be problems. The whole point of leading a situation or leading a group of people is to help fix the problems. There's constantly problems. Human race is designed to have problems. We have prejudgment, we have problems, we have different countries and different languages, and I don't like your religion, you don't like my religion, my God, you're a Democrat, you're a Republican. Everybody's got a reason not to like somebody else. It's like there's people in a room coming up with new ones. And it's constant. And we're constantly seeing on social media and stuff, new reasons to dislike other people because they're different for some other reason. Except Canadians, everyone loves us. But all you people, y'all got problems. If you played hockey more, everything would be fine. Little Tim Hortons, little hockey, everything works out because you fight on the ice. You get off the ice, you go get a beer. If the whole world operated that way, we'd have no problems. We just don't have the coverage. You can't get on TV. So you got to hit things head on, and you have to deal with them, and you can't try to hide things, because when you do that, you're perceived as a small person. In reality, you are. Now, kids do that. We expect it from kids. But you're not a kid, and if you want to run a business that people who are of quality are going to admire you, then you have to embody these types of things. You have to be a person who hits things head on, and you have to have the guts to do it. You have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. And you learn this thing in the field. Me, when I was in the field, I didn't like banks, I didn't like supermarkets. So, I don't know why. Banks, banker guy, I don't know, he just seemed cold. So I went in, I made sure I pitched banks as much as possible and went into supermarkets. Now, when I was selling stuff in the field, nobody in a supermarket bought anything, and rarely a banker. But I went to them anyway, because I had to get comfortable with being uncomfortable at all times. Now, what happens is when you get into management, suddenly you're the boss, and you're used to people coming to you. You get comfortable with people doing what you ask a little bit, and then you get uncomfortable with being uncomfortable. But you got to make sure you force yourself to remain comfortable with being uncomfortable. You got to put yourself in those situations as often as possible, because that's what keeps your edge. You got to keep that edge. Does that make sense?